First one will be Kirsty Hulse from United Kingdom. Okay, how are you doing, Kirsty? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, Kirsty, you know the timing is very short, so people, and it's actually it's been a long conference. The international section just started, but Russian one was long, so we just go straight to the point. It's all yours.
Okay, great. Let me just share my screen. Hopefully this should work. And then if you just let me know, right, can you see yourself? Oh, wait, hold on. I need to go start. And then let me know when you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, fine. Go ahead.
Awesome. Okay, so I am going to talk about when our affair with content means we cheat on customer experience. A little bit about me. My name's Kirsty Hulse. I'm head of best practice at LinkedIn, and I am founder of an agency called Manyminds. And that picture's a time I went to work dressed as a Google update, which is perhaps one of the coolest moments of my life. So essentially, as an industry, we've completely fallen in love with content marketing. This is a slide that shows the trends for people searching for content marketing globally. And you can see the line starts going up around about the time Penguin hit. So around the time tons of sites started getting penalties, people realized, hold on a minute, we need to start creating some content and doing better work to earn our links. A study by the Content Marketing Institute looking at content marketing globally, over 85% of brands are currently investing in content marketing. We spend a quarter of our budgets on it, and 70% of brands created more content this year than they did last year. So ultimately, more and more people are investing in content marketing. It's becoming more important, and it's certainly a huge part of any kind of SEO or marketing strategy. At the same time, excuse me, sorry, just having a drink. At the same time, there's a trend where retailers and websites are becoming publishers, and publishers are becoming retailers. So you have sites like Vogue, they are turning into e-commerce sites. So big fashion publishers are starting to sell online, which is huge. And also, in the UK and in the States, we have the Net-a-Porter brands. I'm not sure if you guys have it over there, but here they're huge, and they're different in the sense that they're content first. So they sell products, but first and foremost, they're a content site and they're a publisher. And this works incredibly well. There's a brand called Mr. Porter, who essentially is a blog, and they use their blog content to sell their products. And it's widely acknowledged that this is an excellent strategy and a really good thing for them to do. And it works. They were a small startup brand, and their brand has grown significantly to be a huge competitor in the fashion market over quite a short period of time through using content marketing. 27% brand growth. And this is really good. Content marketing is excellent, and content marketing allows smaller sites to rank incredibly well, and is a really good way to engage with customers. But I do believe that we're missing something, and we're at risk of forgetting something when we're focusing so heavily on content marketing. And that is, when you have high authority editorial content, then that content ranks for transactional queries. So for example, as we all know, search engines really like content because content has lots of words, content gets lots of links, content gets lots of shares, and that's what search engines like. But we don't necessarily always want that content ranking, because sometimes that's not what users are looking for. Let me give you some examples. Using this site, Mr. Porter, as an example. Now, they're quite a small site, and they have lots and lots of content. And their kind of blog content and their content marketing ranks for quite short tail keywords. So here it ranks for dinner jackets, for Tom Ford, for chinos. There's another brand called REI, and they are an outdoor brand. And it's the same story. They have lots and lots of content. They've invested a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of resource in creating exceptional content that really helps their users. But this content is ranking for transactional queries. So this content is ranking when people are looking to purchase. And I believe that content marketing and long-form editorial content is perfect for, capturing informational queries, driving brand awareness, and ultimately influencing purchase decision. But there's a state of mind that I believe it's not very good for, and that's this. That's when people are searching because they want to buy. When somebody is searching because they want to buy something. And what's happening, because we're investing so much time in our content marketing, and these are the pages that we're really focusing on, it's often the case, in e-commerce sites at least, that these are the pages that are ranking. But these aren't the pages people want to see. So let me give you an example. So here's an example of 2 pages that rank in the UK for the search dinner jackets. And I thought I would do a simple survey. And I asked 300 people, you are looking to buy a new dinner suit. Which page do you think best suits your needs if you're in that frame of mind when you're looking to purchase a product? It's hardly surprising that 84% of people, when they're looking to buy something, want to see a page like the one on the left. It's a list of items. And actually what's happening more and more is it's blog content and editorial content that's ranking. So although content marketing is amazing, and it's allowing us to get closer to our users, and it's allowing us to rank for keywords that we might otherwise not be able to, this is probably having a negative impact on conversion because it's not what the user is looking to see. So basically, we need to find the middle ground, the bit between content and the bit between customer experience, user experience, and conversion rate optimization. And if we can balance those 2 things, that means we can use content to power our rankings, but it also means we're creating pages that are encouraging people to purchase our products. So how do we do that? Well, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're optimizing our editorial content for conversion. One of the ways that you can do this, first off, is by auditing old blog content. This seems fairly obvious, but it's something I always forget to do. Going back through old content and looking at which posts are driving the most traffic, where are the opportunities, and where are we missing out? Everybody knows that content performance increases long after launch date. Age is a positive ranking factor for a lot of queries. And it sometimes happens that we invest a lot in creating a content resource, we get it live, we watch it for a little bit, we see the shares coming in, we think, yes, this content's doing very well, it's getting us some links, excellent, but then we kind of forget about it. And actually what's probably happening over this time is that this content's starting to rank better. It's probably getting quite a lot of referral traffic from all of those links that you've built towards it. And there might be some opportunities in there to change the copy to make sure that it's encouraging people to buy some stuff. Now, one of the things we need to do and we need to consider here is not to hide our call to actions. So make sure when we're creating content, we're encouraging people for that next click. I'd always thought that when doing content marketing, because you're so focused on users and user experience, you don't want to break that journey by adding lots of things like click here to buy our products, or subscribe to our newsletter here, or get a demo now. I thought adding those things to content were probably a distraction. So I did a little poll on Twitter, and I found that people thought opposite. Now, here's a video I'm going to play for you. This is a site called Money Supermarket. It's an insurance site. It's an incredible brand. They do amazing, amazing work. And it ranks very, very, very well in the United Kingdom. And it ranks very well for big money terms, insurance terms, where their kind of cost of acquisition is super, super, super high. Now, here's an example of where I think focusing on content may well actually be a bad thing. Let me just play this for you. So I did a search, car insurance for female drivers under 25. I'm looking to purchase car insurance. They're ranking first. I click through to their page, and what you have is tons and tons of really, really awesome content. Loads of content, a huge page of content, and I'm scrolling, and there's all this information. I get to the bottom, and I can't figure out where I go to actually get the car insurance. I want to purchase this insurance. Where do I get it from? After looking at it for ages, I noticed that there's a little button at the bottom. Because what's been the most important thing for them in this instance is all of that content. Now, that content means that they can rank first. But I don't know. I don't have the analytics for this. But I guess, and I would imagine, that a lot of the people that land on this page bounce because they're looking to buy insurance. They're not necessarily looking to read through a huge, massive article. So I think that's an example of where putting such effort and such priority on content may well actually be negative. Oh, but like I said, I don't have access to their analytics. This is just an assumption. So we need to make sure that we're testing. I will admit that I'm not very good at testing my landing pages. I create content and I suggest landing pages for my clients all the time. And I forget to test them because typically you have UX teams that are doing that. But there are so many free tools and free resources you can use to test your content. This is just an example of one of them. This is called testing.net. And what this allows you to do is A/B test your content before you launch it. So I'm suggesting when we're content marketing and we're creating lots of content, make sure we're testing where we're putting our call to actions, where we're encouraging people to sign up to our newsletters or buy our products or whatever it is that the ultimate goal of that site is. Because really, when I did my survey on Twitter, what I discovered that actually very, very few people really know the answer to this. Whether you should put lots of call to actions on your content. So you just need to make sure that it's something that is being tested. What's also really, really important is image quantity and quality. This is something that's often forgotten. Let me give you an example. This is a brand called Farfetch. Again, it's another UK-based fashion brand. And this site here, this is content. This is blog content. But you wouldn't know it because the images are of that high quality and that much care and attention has been taken to them on product pages. What often happens on blogs, because CMS systems aren't normally that good, or we see blogs as being something free or incredibly very cheap, we tend not to invest much time or effort in our blog imagery. And that's a mistake. We need to make sure that we're encouraging people to click through to our products through the images that we're using on our blog. And also, don't hide those product recommendations. Here's an example of a small site, tiny site, and they rank for a high volume keyword, Cooper bikes. And the fact that they're even ranking for this is awesome because, like I said, they're quite a small site, and this is a competitive keyword. The reason that they're ranking is because they've written this really lovely, long-form editorial content on the history of this bike. But what they've also done very well is they've added this really cool related product section here. So you can read the content, you can go through, you can read it if that's what you want. But my guess is most people don't want to read this content. Most people are looking to buy. This is a great example of people doing content marketing well, but also encouraging people to purchase their products at the same time. There's also an option to signpost your product pages. So pointing people in the right direction when they land on that page. Another thing we might want to start thinking about doing is unoptimizing editorial content for keywords that we know people want to buy on. So let me give you an example of that before I move on to the next slide. If we think back to the example where you had the outdoor brand ranking for backpackers, they had two separate pages. They had their product page that had all of those products on, and they had the blog content. And what you want to do really is make sure that all things like your title tags, your on-page copy, your header and your semantic data is optimized on the product page for that to rank. So you can unoptimize the blog content to make sure that it's the product page that ranks. But none of this feels very sophisticated in 2016. It doesn't feel like a very good solution to be unoptimizing your editorial content. This is where content personalization comes in. Now, essentially, I'm not sure if any of you have ever played around with any content personalization or done anything on it in the past. I'm very, very new to it, but I am finding it quite interesting because content personalization allows you to alter the content you surface depending on multiple different factors such as keywords, source, meaning. And what that means is we can better align our content with user intent. There's a really great resource here that I suggest you go away and read. Now, because Google, I'm not sure about Yandex actually. I'm not sure whether you get keyword-specific data, but over in the UK, we can't really get it. But we can group it to ranking page and edit the content according to source. Now, the reason I've never done much with dynamic content before is because I always presumed that it would be expensive. And obviously, if you're serving different content to somebody, depending on their behavioral demographics, then you're going to need dynamic URLs, which as an SEO isn't very good. It's not what we want technically. But it's not expensive. And it certainly doesn't have to be expensive. There's tons of tools that are available, and they're cheap and they're affordable, and you can get them. So have a play around with Personalize. It's completely free. And what this allows you to do is track user demographic behavior, and it allows you to alter your content and surface different things according to what that person might want. Now, for the future of content marketing, that becomes incredibly powerful because not only are we creating awesome content, we're creating awesome content that is specific to who these people are and what we think they might like. There's lots of other ones. Now, if you have a small site, these are really quite affordable. It's when you have large e-commerce sites, they become a bit more expensive, but it certainly is worth playing around with them. Now, in terms of just pure technical SEO considerations, when we think about dynamic content, there's other things that you can do. So include hard-coded text links behind the dynamic content. Make sure, obviously, submitting accurate sitemaps. Keep the static and the dynamic URLs short and make your Ajax crawlable. And for me, I think we need to continue creating lots of awesome content. And it certainly is the future. But at the same time, we need to also make sure that we are creating content that answers people's questions. When somebody searches, that's all they're looking to do. They have a question and they want it to be answered. And my belief is that the more content we create, the less specific we're being and surfacing the right content for that right query at the right time. So it's just something else we have to consider. We can't just go away and start doing tons of content marketing. We have to think, okay, we're going to create loads of content, but how do we want this to rank? What keywords do we want this to rank for, if any? And that's me. Thank you very much. I'll exit my full screen now.
Okay, the question about Twitter and Twitter bots, actually, robots. Andy Milanovic think it's just too many of retweeting, automatic retweeting and everything. Okay, and especially in a business-to-business community and social media today shares. Do you care about this robots exist? Obviously they aren't engagers, but given they are redistributing the views as a spam. Is it a spam or reach? Actually, the question is. And what's your vision on Twitter? All this automation and especially robots, retweets and everything.
I would say that it's bad. I probably wouldn't go as far as to say that it's spam, but it's not reach. If it's not a real person and you're not having an actual genuine interaction with a user as a brand, then it's not providing any value. The only value it's providing is potentially looking good on a report, but it's not real. It would be my answer. By the way, it's like nearly 6 p.m. here, so I'm just having a beer. I hope you don't mind.
Well, that's great. Okay, I can't afford to have a beer, unfortunately, not yet. Okay.
It's a Friday.
Okay, great, Friday. Okay, so basically what you're saying about this is kind of overdue. That people trying to do great content marketing and they actually forgetting what they're doing it for.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think. Okay.
I think what happens is people have prioritized content marketing over conversion, and I think what we need to make sure that we're doing is when we're creating content, we also need to make sure that that's not getting in the way of the consumer journey, people wanting to buy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because very often I go to the page and it looks absolutely perfect, brilliant, everything works, and I don't want it. I just I want something what I want, and I can't bloody find it.
Well, exactly. Particularly when you're looking to buy something, because the way the internet's always been, we've almost been trained to expect to see a certain thing. So now when you're looking to buy something, you want to see a list of those products, like if you went into a shop. You know, if you went into a shop and all you saw was information about the products, that wouldn't be helpful because you want to buy them, you want to see them. And that's the risk that we have when we start creating lots of content. We need to make sure that we're also showcasing our products as well as our content.
And why? Because obviously there should be some locomotive which push this. Why? My thought would be the people who are content marketer. They try to show clients that they are very developed, that they are on a trending, and they're not just showing this suits. No, we're not gonna show suits. We're gonna show you blue sky. So all this blue sky vision. Is it because of that, or is something different? What do you think?
So it's that, definitely, but it's also, search engines rank things based on links, and it's content that gets links, not product pages. So when you're creating, you have your blue sky vision and you're creating all this amazing content, then in a search engine's eyes, they're the best pages. But for a user,
there would be best pages if they got a lot of links. True. But if they won't got links, it's won't be such a big difference, or otherwise. But I just want to understand why it's getting. Well, sometimes as nice web page, everything is very clear, and they just redesign it, and it's brilliant. It's all the sliders, navigation, but you can't get I don't know, you want to buy you want to buy pen, I don't know, whatever, iPhone. Well, people usually buy iPhone for some reason.
Yeah.
I never done any.
No, I'm Android.
Yeah, me too. And I can't find it. I find it's just all the slides going round, and I'm trying to click one, and I always click the next one for some reason. So I just want to understand who is responsible, who we're gonna shoot, who's responsible? Is it web designers, or is it your people, content marketers, or who is it? Or it's actually a client has to take a blame because client wants to be up on the trendy side.
I think it's everything. I think, you know, the internet moves very quickly and trends change very quickly. So like you said, like web design and pages change, but people are used to a certain thing. You know, when you're used to seeing something surface to you in a certain way and then that changes, that becomes quite difficult for users. So every single time Facebook redesigned, which is all the time, so all of my friends on Facebook would be like, I hate the new Facebook, I hate the new Facebook. But then people get used to it.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's Google Plus, for example, they redesign. I still cannot find a right button. Yeah. So and I can't really see. Okay, obviously we're not gonna talk about Google Plus. We don't have much time anyway. But okay, so everybody is to take blame. Basically, what you said is to overdo your content. When you do content marketing, think about what you really sell, and not just sell your content for sake of a content. And the question of Randy Milanovic. I don't know, Randy, if it's opinion of Kirsty is not it's not good, it's not rich, definitely not rich, but it's not spam either. Well, I don't know, when I see all this message, you connect with someone and it's almost instantaneously this message, direct message going, and something like, and it's clear, it's not real people, because when you said, yeah, I'll do it, I never got any response. So now I just disregard all the direct messages.
And it affects the brand, you know, if that message, that, you know, the brand of the person that you got that message from, you have a bad view of now.
Yeah, because I know that they just put some kind of script, probably use one of many, which is, they don't even write the script, they just use ready-made, and it just automatically shoot. And I hate when it's shoot, oh, you have a great Friday or something like that, because of this script, no, it's Friday today. Yeah, well, it's ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. Okay, Kirsty Hulse, thank you very much. Friday night, I understand you're dying to go out, but thank you very much. It was very interesting. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon somewhere else. We have to do webinar. We do plenty of webinars as well. So one day webinar is a structure much more flexible, so we can have more questions to discuss and everything. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Kirsty. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of it. Bye-bye.
Bye.